Today we are creditors in the card game Foreclosed, and wealthy Uncle Moneybags is in trouble. His financial empire has crumbled and property must be sold off to pay debts. Will you acquire his hotel or maybe even a helicopter as you battle to exchange with others to ensure you're set collecting the right assets to maximize points? This one is low complexity, it plays 2 to 6 and it takes in the region of 30 minutes, and we can see the designers and the publisher there as well. Let's take a closer look. So we have got this poor person here who is having to sell all his possessions, and we are squabbling over them to have these possessions for the end of the game and have the most points for the win. And basically you are set collecting the colours, and the more you set collect, the more points you're gonna get. So you've got this setup here. Each player gets 2 cards at the beginning of the game. You're going to keep 1 face down secret, and you're only revealing that at the end. Some cards will give you victory points and you will have to pay for those if you have those at the beginning. So each player starts with 4 money. They've paid 2 because they have that 2 victory points. These guys must have a sneaky 1 VP under there. So what can you do on your go? Here's the starting player. They're going to reveal a card into the exchange market for each player. So these are your permanent cards. They cannot be touched, and these are currently in this round up for grabs. So this player, what can they do? So they could decide to just take a coin and that is their go done, or they could take one of these action cards and that is their go done, or they could do an exchange. So maybe they're just going to take a coin, boom, from the supply. That is their go done. Over to the next player. Now, before you actually do your go of either taking a coin, an action, or an exchange, you can play an exchange card. And there's loads in here. They kind of say who it affects, when it's to be played, if it's to be played on the table, if it's to go on top of your cards or discard. Some give end game points as well. So you have the option to play one of these before you do anything. You can't play it after you've done your go. Now, you have 5 of these, up to 5 in your hand. If you ever have more, you're going to have to discard them, but they're worth points at the end of the game as well. Each one you have in your hand that you've not managed to use is going to get you 1 point per one. So they're not going to pass, and they're looking around and they're thinking, okay, I really want this card here because this is a dual card. It can be used as a purple or a green, and as I said, you're set collecting these to get them. The higher the numbers you collect, the more points. So they want to do an exchange of this player. Now, exchanges, you're looking clockwise, so they're going clockwise, and yes, they want to do an exchange of this player. And that's important because if they skip this player and go to do an exchange maybe to this player, and that exchange fails because this player protects it, they can no longer go back and do negotiations of this player and this player. When I say negotiations, a little battle off as to how much you're willing to fight over this gold in this case. So they come over free, and what you do is you pop 1 coin. So we're doing the exchange action now. 1 coin on, you place the card in front of this player, and this player has a tricky decision. Are they going to defend it and protect it with money, or are they just going to allow the swap to happen? So if they allow the swap, they swap it over, they get the 1 coin that was on it, and that is their go done. The card isn't actually theirs yet until the end of the round. This player's up then, and they're like, right, I don't want a coin, I don't want an action card, I really want this card over here. They could not go and do an exchange of this player because they've already had dealings. So they go clockwise, they've passed this player, and they're over here. So they put 1 coin on, pop that over here. This player's like, no chance, I really want this card. So they're going to protect it with 2 money. Now, this player has a tough choice. Are they going to match that bid and just swap the cards, or are they going to bail out? Now, if they do bail out, this player's protected it, it stays there. They've gone clockwise, so they have to, the only player they can do negotiation with is this player, and they've already done the swap, so they can't do anything there, and they just take the coin back. So are they going to try and acquire this card? Yes, they are. So they match the bid of 2. This player then gets all of that money. Excellent. And the cards swap. Okay. This player's up and they're like, you know what? I am looking at this card here. They've only got the one coin and money you can keep secret. So they're actually going to skip them, and come over here and place a coin on there. And they've barely got any money to protect it, which is fascinating because other players have worked hard to get cards, and then you sneak in as the last player and go, haha, I am taking that card now. And this player is going to defend it anyway with a coin, because if they're going to be losing it, they're going to make sure this player is going to pay for it. So this player matches the bid, and then they take all the money, cards are swapped over, and that is the end of all the exchanges. So literally you can exchange, or you can decide to take a coin or one of those action cards. And then you take the cards into your property area here. So these money cards, you are going to get 1 money for placing one. And if you had stacks of them, so let me just go and grab a few more. If you had, say, this card here, and you place this one down, so you get a coin for placing it and a coin for previous ones you have collected, which is nice, but these are worth nothing at the end of the game when you're collecting cards. So they get 1 money for this. Some cards have little bonuses, so you can see they're going to get an extra coin for that one. Some of these little hearts let you acquire action cards as well. This player is going to get this colour, so they're making new stacks. What have they got? They've got that one. They're getting a coin as well. And these guys have a purple. And you can see they've got a dual card here, both colours. So they have to make a decision. They're going to add it to the purples, or they're going to make it into a green pile. They're going to go with the purples. The gavel passes on. They deal 4 more cards. And you keep going. And once this deck has been exhausted, you will then score points based on the sets you've collected. So you can see if you manage to get up to 11, you're going to get 36 points. Some of the cards have points on them. You're going to get a point for each action card left in your hand that you've not managed to play. And some of the actions themselves actually give you points at the end as well. And the most money is the winner. Now, where is some of the fascinating bargaining and stuff going on? So let's say this player is up and they don't even really want this card, but they might have an inclination that the player here actually wants to really keep it. And there's loads of oranges out there anyway in this particular case. So they decide to do an exchange just for a laugh with this player. And this player's like, okay, I'm going to have to defend it or protect it. And this player's like, you know what, I actually don't really want it. So they take their card back. And this player has sort of been forced to spend their money on a card which, if no one had have challenged them, they would have just got for free. So they then go over to this player and they can see it's worth a point because they failed negotiations there. And remember, you go clockwise. And this player's like, no chance, I'm putting 2 coins. And they're like, no, I don't really want it. And then they go back here. So these people have now got protected cards. And importantly, when it comes around to your go, if you had to protect on a previous round, you're kind of stuck there. You can't do anything. So you can only take the pass action, which is just take a coin from the supply. And any money that you've used to protect a card at the end of this round is actually going to go to the bank, and you've spent money to acquire that card. Now, it might be that this player comes over here all cocky thinking, haha, I'm going to make this player put some coins to protect it. And they're like, actually, no, I'm going to swap it because I want the coin and I want the purple card, because you don't know what that secret card is under here. And this player's ended up with an orange card, which ain't too bad. It's got a point on anyway. So that is the trickery in the game. You'll then get rid of these. And some of these action cards, they actually, see this one here actually lets you remove that money that you protected to then sort of continue on your go. You've got things that give you multipliers of those victory points, things that discard cards. Some of them let you score victory points at the end of the game for the amount of money you have. So loads of variety there. And I should add that you can't ever do, I think I mentioned it, you can't ever do, say if this player has acquired that card and exchanged it, you can't then do negotiations and exchange them for that same player. And that's it, literally most points at the end of the game by collecting all these possessions in the matching colours. There we are, enjoy.